Hey everybody, this is Ryan and Angela from LostInReviews.com, and this is Blue Monday.
So dramatic there.
Yes, I liked it. Little pause for one of my favorite films of all time, because first up on Blue Monday, we have Jurassic Park, the
trilogy.
Ultimate Trilogy.
The Ultimate Edition!
Yes, Ultimate Edition.
Blu-ray.
All three films. You may notice the difference in mine is that it's black and it's in a tin case, and you can get that at Best Buy. The only thing that I have to say, though, about this is there are no pictures inside this. So if you want, like, a complete photo diary, first of all, you're not going to get that in the other version.
Well, you just put the movie in and watch the movie.
Yes, just watch the movie, which is a very, very good thing to do, because on Blu-ray, especially with the sound design that they had in this, especially in the first film, the 7.1 score, or surround sounds track, or whatever it is, what call you.
What have you.
I never get those, like, little punny things. Right, never, ever, ever.
That's what I'm here for.
But it sounds fantastic. It's really like I've never heard of a Jurassic Park film, and more than the high-def transfer, which still looks beautiful. I was a little worried that the first movie might look a little more CG-y, if that's a word.
You just made it.
It's a word now.
Yep.
In high definition, then I would have, like, it may have ruined the movie to put it in high definition, but it didn't. The film looks fantastic.
I would agree.
And the sound.
The sound is so amazing, because there's things you can hear so crisp or clear that you never got to hear before. Like when what's Sam Neill, whatever his name is in the movie, he's saying "throw the flare" to
Dr. Grant.
Dr. Grant to Ian.
Yeah, Ian Malcolm.
I only hear it once before, but now in this version you can hear him saying it over and over and over again. Throw the flare, throw the flare, throw the... So the sound is so, like, it's like they really just pumped it up to 11 on this one.
And the bass will shake your house. It is so awesome. Jurassic Park is one of my favorite films, and I love all three of them, unlike a lot of people. And I really think that the third and The Lost World get a lot of flack. But let's talk about the special features.
Yes.
2 hours of interviews, and it's not just stuff from the set, and it's people coming back and talking about making this movie. Steven Spielberg does not do commentary. He will not do it. He thinks it ruins movie magic. So this is really awesome.
Kind of a big deal.
Yes, kind of a big deal. Little Steven Spielberg talking about making movies.
You get all the actors too, right?
Yes, well, most of the actors.
Sam Neill?
We kind of lose people as we go through the other two movies. First movie, though, everybody's there.
That's good.
That you want.
That's the important one.
Yeah, the first movie, everybody you want to hear from. I would have liked to hear a little bit from John Hammond, but we never get that. Spielberg talks about how much he loves the guy, and
so tell me what. Can you name just like one of your favorite features, maybe on each of the discs?
Okay. So the first film, I thought I knew everything about Jurassic Park. Like, I knew about the hurricane and Steven Spielberg doing the lighting thing. I've heard that story before. I thought I knew it all. But there's more. There's so much more to what went into that film.
They were saving it just for this.
Yes, I didn't know that Spielberg was editing the film and putting the final touches on it while he was doing Schindler's List, and how much that took out of him. I did not know any of that. That's my favorite special feature from Jurassic Park, is just basically Spielberg talking about making the movie. And then the second one, my favorite special feature from the second one is Spielberg talking about Jurassic Park 4.
Oh.
And
so there will be one?
No, he says if we make another one, but he gets this smile on his face that I'm like, you're making another movie.
You think he's excited to do it?
Yeah, because I read that after going back and doing this Blu-ray and talking about the movie, that he got kind of psyched, ready to make it.
Yeah, right.
And I think I know the way he's going by the way he was talking about it in the Lost World special feature, because he was like, I know how, after I made the Jurassic Park movie, I knew how I wanted to get people back on the island with the dinosaurs, and that's why we follow the shaving cream can down the hill when Nedry is killed, and then we focus so much on that can, is because Spielberg was going to bring people back on the island to go get that can before those embryos deceased.
That's awesome. Well, how long could they possibly last, though?
He covers that in the first movie. I think
so
it's
he's already going to get the loophole?
It's either 48 or 72 hours because Dodson says it to Nedry.
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
very beginning.
There's something
Spielberg
like
was always intending to make a sequel, and just
using that little pathway
to get in, and that's what I think Jurassic Park 4 is going to be.
I've always wondered why they always focus so much on that, getting like the mud pouring over that. I just thought they were really trying to solidify, like, well, you're never going to get that back again.
Yeah, I think that's what it's going to be. You're going to have the other team, Dodson, come in, which Dodson in The Lost World, the book, has a big part of him coming in. Which they didn't cover.
Oh, you're spoiling so much for me now.
It's so awesome. I hope they make Jurassic Park 4.
What about on the third one?
The third one, I really like Steven Spielberg talking about the ride, because they just threw that in there like a little zinger. Like, here's the third movie, but guess what? Spielberg's going to talk about making the ride and how he won't ride it. How he won't go down the end. He loves to ride the ride. He designed it. He directed it. He did everything for it, but he will not do the final plunge because he's scared of
what a wussy.
Roller coasters. So the guy that scares the crap out of you in movies with velociraptors and all that will not take the final plunge. Yeah, he won't go down a hill. That's not happening. So they always stop it and he can get off at the top.
Oh, come on.
But they talk about that, and they talk about how big Jurassic Park was at the time they were making Jurassic Park 3, and when they were on the sound stage and they could hear the music from the ride billowing over, because they're at Universal Studios Hollywood. So they hear that music and they're like, we have to live up to that
ride?
No, not to the ride, to the presence of Jurassic Park.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
These movies are awesome. Jurassic Park The Lost World gets so much crap, but
I'd say it's the worst out of the three.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. It's kind of close with me with 3. I enjoy 3 because it does throw a lot of the dinosaurs that were in the Lost World book into it, and the Spinosaurus
is scary.
Yeah, and the scenes with him fighting the T-Rex are mind-blowing.
He still scares me with all those teeth.
Yeah, he's a great dinosaur addition. I think you have to look at the Lost World and Jurassic Park 3 as more of like horror adventure, not the majestic movie that the original Jurassic Park was. Nothing's ever going to do what that movie did for you. In the theater, like, in the movie, they're seeing dinosaurs for the first time, but guess what? We were too.
Yeah. And nothing ever lives up to the original anyway, whenever they do a sequel or prequel or whatever. And, now Hollywood's just crazy about those. But
yeah, but I think right now, if we threw Jurassic Park The Lost World and Jurassic Park 3 out in theaters right now, I think they'd hold up to some of the stuff that's coming out. They came out in a very hard time for movies. There was some really good stuff coming out then.
Well, not only the fact that the movies have been just like total crap this year, but as far as special features go, the Jurassic Park it looks better.
Special effects.
Yeah,
yes.
Special effects still look much better than most of the films that come out today.
Yes, and they talk about that, and the last special feature, the final special feature of Steven Spielberg goes into that and talks about the passing of Stan Winston.
Oh, yeah.
And how influential he was, and Michael Crichton.
All right, so...
And they both died in the same year. Kind of spooky. I did not
Mm-hmm.
realize that until they had the little memorial there.
They went to Dinosaur Land.
They did. So, I'm definitely...
I'm not sure if you're going to give it a buy it or not.
I bought it.
Yeah.
Buy Jurassic Park. If you're a Jurassic Park fan like I am, I've really thought about it and skipped that little box set.
That had like the little dinosaur in it?
It looks like crap. Don't let them do that to you.
Well, maybe
it should have looked like Sideshow Collectibles, and it didn't.
Maybe if you have a kid and they want the little toy.
Nope, not worth it.
No, straight up. Okay. All
right, that's it for Jurassic Park.
So next up we have a Disney.
All right.
Yeah, you all worn out now? We should just wait till next week for all these.
All right. Cars.
Cars, Disney Pixar Blu-ray. Or, Cars 2, actually.
Yes, this is Cars 2. I was actually surprised by this.
Yeah, they go around the world.
I'm not quite sure if I've seen Cars, the original one. I know it's about a race, and I feel like I've seen parts of it. I know about like Lightning McQueen, and I know kind of like the backstory of it. This was cool because they added a spy element into it.
Yeah, and they're like traveling around the world.
Well, there's races across the world, and I seriously listened to the commentary twice when they were in London to make sure that I heard him correct when he said that London was a creation, that they computer generated it, because it looks real.
What do you mean, the cars are driving through London?
Yeah, London itself, it looked like they took cameras and they filmed London and then they put the cars in. But no, they created it because it freaked me out how real it looked.
Wow, that's exciting. So obviously the visuals are up to par on this.
Yeah, the Blu-ray looks amazing. The only thing, and I hate to knock Disney about this, where's the special features?
What?
There's none. There's a commentary, and
Yeah, you're
then
right.
2 shorts. That's it. That's not what we expect from Disney and Pixar.
What the heck? Disney's usually just pumping these on here, giving all kinds of stuff for kids anyway.
Well, for kids, they got the DVD.
They got the movie anyway.
Throw it in your mom
There
van.
you go. You gotta say it.
Cars 2, I kind of liked it. So I'm going to give it a buy it, and I'm really, really surprised by that.
I am too.
I was kind of intrigued by some of the parts.
Okay.
Not really the racing, but more like the spy stuff. I was like, ooh, cool, Cars Bond. I'm into this.
Cars
The
Bond.
beginning is like really action-packed and wild. But yeah, buy it. What region is it? It's A, B, and C probably.
Yeah, Disney. Yeah, ABC.
ABC, Disney. All right.
Okay, so next up we just have a DVD this week. This is a documentary of sorts called Magic Trip, Ken Kesey's Search for a Cool Place. This took place back in 1964. You guys have probably seen this magic bus, the school bus that they painted up.
Depicted in movies all the time.
Yeah, if you've seen Across the Universe, they have a scene in there that kind of depicts this. Ken Kesey is the man who wrote One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, so he got this idea that they should get together, this big group of friends, and just drive across country because they were out in California and they wanted to drive to New York for the World's Fair. So they got this bus and they decided to paint it all up, and they painted 5 or 6 different colors, just got all crazy with it, and it turned out looking like this. And then a bunch of them got on the bus, and they filmed it throughout the entire time with the intention of making it into a movie, but all of this film footage got kind of locked away because none of it synced up. Like the audio wasn't syncing up with the video, and then they lost parts of it.
Could that be because they were on acid?
There was a lot of acid in this, but I'll explain that in a minute. So, but they weren't on acid the whole time. I mean, sometimes they were just drinking some mint juleps. So,
Right.
But they talk about the entire journey as they show it to you, and they've been able to go back now and resync some of the audio, or sometimes if the video was lost, they'll just play the audio over some other video of them playing around on the bus or something. So they did a lot of weird hippie shit, playing little plastic flutes a lot and dancing around. And they had modified this bus to put like a turret on the top so they can get...
What? Okay, hold on.
No, a turret, like a tunnel that they can climb up through.
Okay, because a turret's a gun.
No, but they were calling it a turret in
Okay.
this. So just the actual tunnel that they can climb up into, and they put like little seat areas up on the bus so they'd just be driving down the road and people sitting up there. They had a place on the back that people could stand on. So they lost people and gained people throughout this trip, and they go through every town that they end up stopping into. And it's pretty interesting, there's this whole trip planned to get to the World's Fair, and when they actually get to the World's Fair, it's quite lackluster because of the comparison of the trip that it took them to get there. So it was really more about the journey and not the destination.
That's cool.
So you get to know a lot of the different people in this story, and kind of you get to hear their audio comment of where they are now. You can tell they sound older, but they don't ever show them. They just show them as the younger versions. But it's pretty interesting to get to know some of these people. Some of them got really whacked out on acid.
Of course.
The Ken Kesey, they have an actual in the film, and then as a special feature, they actually have an audio version of his first trip, because he actually got involved in LSD as a governmental experiment. He was like at Oxford or wherever he was going to college
Yeah,
at.
they were going to use it to like make super soldiers or something like that.
No, they were just trying to test it to see if they could use it to help with like migraines, or if it helped with other. If they could, they were trying to figure out if it was useful for anything, because it had been discovered back in 1930s, but they were
And they quickly found out that it does not work on migraines.
No, but they have an audio clip of him, and he had to go into like an insane asylum or whatever they were called back then, sit in a quiet room, and like just a stale room with a bed and like a recorder, and you hear him talking to the recorder like, do you know that you're a toad? Do you know that you're about to get up off this table and walk away because you're a toad? And then you'd hear the nurse come in and ask him questions like, how do you feel right now? And he's like, I feel really great. And he would start talking about, like, I see, golden eggs flying out of the ceiling light or something like that, just like crazy things. And as you were listening to this, they were illustrating it on the screen, so you could kind of see a little bit maybe what he was going through. So that was really interesting, and it's just a clip in the film, but they have the whole thing as the special feature. That's the coolest special feature on here. So I'm really into like hippie shit and all like the 60s vibe stuff. I love all that stuff, and getting more of a backstory on some of the bigger names like Jack Kerouac and Neil Cassidy and then Ken Kesey, all these people who were kind of like movers and shakers of the 60s, seeing where they went in life, that's really interesting to me. So I would highly encourage anyone else who's like me, who's really into that stuff, to definitely check this out. I would buy it, but I'm saying for anyone else who's just interested in saying, I would say rent it, because it's definitely worth at least one watch.
So if you're hardcore into the 60s, and buy it. If
you are secretly a hippie inside, you should buy it.
All right.
Because it's fun.
All right. Now let's talk about a very strange movie.
Oh, yeah.
Going Places. All right. Let me tell you about Going Places. This is a hardcore sex comedy.
Yes.
And it is super funny. I loved it.
Yeah. French film starring Gerard Depardieu. And I don't know if I can say this other guy's name right, but I don't know. It's basically just Gerard Depardieu. This is the film that made him famous, since I was intrigued by that. And you can definitely see why. You get to really you fall in love with these characters.
So much charisma, and they're doing all these depraved things to women, and I'm like, I still love you. You're so weird.
Yeah, it's true, because I was watching it with him, and I was thinking, because you grow to love these two guys. Yeah. Because in the beginning of the film, you're like, these are two hooligans. What are they doing? They're just going from place to place.
Just constantly getting in trouble, constantly running into problems.
Cops, stealing cars, whatever they got to do, messing with women, all this stuff. But they kind of start taming and cooling down a little bit towards the end. And maybe it's just you're seeing them grow throughout the film.
Well, when they meet the woman, it's just fantastic.
Yeah.
The chemistry between the three and the woman is just amazing. And she's beautiful.
Are you talking about the prostitute?
Yeah, the prostitute. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, their sexual plaything.
That beautiful prostitute.
There's a scene where she can't have an orgasm, so a lot of the subplot of the movie is trying to help her find her orgasm. And
but there's also like an underlying tone in that these two are just terrible at having sex.
Well, no, according to them, they are the best.
They know all the moves.
Yeah. So, Trading Places is just a real surprise.
Going Places. That's an Eddie Murphy movie.
All right. Yeah. Going Places, real surprise to me. So funny. If you can get past your American kind of
rules,
baggage,
standards,
and just really get into it, that's what it takes. It's like the first shock of all the nudity and all the sex and their crudeness and everything that they're saying. Once you get past that and realize, like, once you get past the fact that the guy is sucking on a woman's breast and milking off of it.
I forgot about that part.
Once you get past that,
then
you're good.
If you can learn to grasp that, then you can call yourself French, basically.
Yeah, I loved this movie. I highly suggest everybody check it out in any way they can. Going Places, definitely buy this.
Check it out. It's hilarious.
All right, it's Halloween, so we're going to give you some quick little picks, go through, talk about them real fast.
Everyone wants a little bit of horror film to watch during the Halloween season. So
first up, I think I've suggested this a lot, but check out I Saw the Devil. Hardcore action, fun, murder, sex. Kind of rape. But
it's kind of rapey on the side.
Awesome film, Korean movie that's just beautiful to look at, beautiful to watch, and the story is awesome. I wouldn't be surprised if it's going to be remade soon in America.
Probably.
Because it's so awesome. The action scenes in this are fantastic. Definitely great filmed for you to check out on Halloween.
Next up, the scariest movie I've ever seen in my entire life, The Strangers.
Yes, this movie freaks you out.
I can't even watch it, really.
Why did they kill them? Because they were home.
Yeah.
That's it.
They wear scary masks. So.
Yes, we're about to get The Strangers too, but definitely watch that.
They're making another one?
Yes.
Oh, gosh.
One of my favorite horror films of all time, Trick or Treat on Blu-ray. Super cheap Blu-ray, We're always suggesting people check this out.
It's like $7.
Yeah, go check out Trick or Treat.
House of the Devil.
One of my favorite directors, Ty West's House of the Devil.
We've talked about this before.
Awesome, amazing movie. His other film, The Innkeeper's about to come out.
Yeah.
The Crazies. Check that out. Angela loves
I love
that.
this one.
And
I love post-apocalyptic films. So
any Halloween party would not be complete without the Army of Darkness.
Definitely.
And this Blu-ray is awesome. Definitely check that out. But that is all the time we have for you on Blu Monday. We will see you next week.
All right, have fun.